On Blitz, we have senior Kaytlin Johnson of the Jefferson Lady Dragons. Kaytlin, thank you so much for being on Blitz and talking about your volleyball season. So congratulations on a state championship. What a feeling that must be. And for you, getting the opportunity to be at the service line for the last 2 points and knock down those aces to secure a bit of history. What did that feel like? Can you rewind and talk about what was going through your mind? How fast was your heart beating? All that kind of stuff.
So it was obviously kind of a nerve-wracking moment for me, but honestly, I was just super confident back there. I know we had worked really hard over the course of the season, and over the course of that match, I think just coming out and having the cushion that we had when I went back there, I wasn't, super stressed and all that. And also in the moment, at the beginning of the season, I was kind of struggling with my serving, and then towards the end, and especially like when we got into region and playoffs, like I felt really confident in it. So honestly, I was just, I don't know, confidence is the one word that I can use for that. So it was just a really cool experience to be back there.
Yeah, at that point, it's probably like muscle memory and just in your thing. But what did it feel like when that last ricochet goes off and your state champs? What did that feel like?
Absolutely surreal. I don't think it's sunk in yet. Well, I originally thought that it was out of bounds because she, I didn't know if she touched it or something. And then when it landed, I remember falling to the ground, just crying, so happy. And I don't know, I was just really proud, not only of, myself, but also my teammates in that moment, because we had worked really hard all season, obviously.
And speaking of working hard, your whole career has just been phenomenal. You end with over 1,000 career kills. I'm going to read off some stats: 435 kills, 216 digs, 63 aces. What a season you've had yet again. What do all those numbers and accolades mean to you? And I imagine more than the numbers, what are you going to miss the most about your time here at Jefferson?
So I would say just the numbers for me, I really like to crunch numbers. It's kind of the way I measure my success in a way, through club and through school ball. But honestly, the thing I'm going to miss the most about Jefferson is these girls right here. It's we all grew up playing together for a really, really long time. And, just being surrounded with the greatest family that I could ever ask for, honestly.
Awesome. Now, talk about the playoff run was pretty special, obviously. But what I thought was interesting is the final 3 matches were all rematches from opponents you had earlier in the season. One of those being Chestatee. So I want to talk about that match in the Elite Eight. You go up against one of the top players in the state and even in the country in terms of kills. Valerie Smoose, 2,000 plus kills, 300 plus aces in her career. And that was a team that much improved throughout the season, Chestatee. Talk about what was the conversation you all had as a team leading up to that match.
So I think we were all confident, obviously, coming off of us beating them at the first game of the season. But honestly, the main talk was just to focus on us. Obviously, we were focused on, what her tendencies were and what things we're going to do. And she had an incredible game. We actually talked afterwards, and we were congratulate each other, obviously, with us both being seniors. And honestly, like I said, I think just the main thing was to focus on us, and I think that's exactly what we did. And I think we just all came together in that moment and realized, hey, we can really do this, especially in the 5th set. So, yeah, I would just say focus on us and, see what she can do and see how we can, stop her.
So how do you you talked about how you celebrated in the moment, hitting the floor, but how do you as a team, how do you as an individual plan to celebrate or have already celebrated to a degree this state championship?
So we all rode the charter bus back, and we had a little bit of nap time. Because obviously long day. And then when we got off the exit, we had a police escort, and that was incredible. Honestly, we just all partied the night away, and we came back, and our Jefferson volleyball community was there, and we had a bunch of sparklers and things, because that was something we would defend our sparkle, that kind of thing. So, and I think afterwards, when we all picked out the rings and stuff, I think that was also a pretty big moment. And me individually, I think maybe my parents just I don't think it's sunk in for me and my parents either, with that being my last Jefferson volleyball game, not only it being the state championship, but also winning it. So I think, honestly, just still letting it sink in is how I'm going to celebrate.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of those overtime, and as you recall it. So those who know, those who don't, you're heading to Lincoln Memorial University, so congrats on being able to play at the next level and have that God-given ability. So talk about the recruiting process. Did you love it, hate it, somewhere in between, and why did you pick Lincoln Memorial?
So the recruiting process was really hard. I started my 15th year, and I kind of always knew that I wanted to play in college, and being a quote-unquote undersized hitter, it was kind of hard for me to look at those big D1 programs. And me and my mom actually had a talk about going big or going home. And I think we just had the conversation about, just figuring out what realistically I could look for in a school. And obviously my major is communications and media, so it's kind of hard to find in the sense of the Southeast. And I was visiting all these D2 schools in North Carolina, Tennessee. I went to a school in Arkansas. I don't know why I did that, but it was really pretty. I almost picked it. But Lincoln, when I went for a visit. They watched me at a club tournament, like probably about 2 weeks before I was going to commit elsewhere. And they were like, we need to get you up. And I went up there and I met with Coach Cash, it's his first year with the women's program. He was with the men's program for, I believe, 7 years. And I just loved it. I fell in love immediately. He's just such a great guy, and he like has that family vibe to him. And I met some of the girls as well, and it was just a perfect fit, both academically and with volleyball. And it's not far away, but it's far enough away to where I can come home on the weekends, but also like stay.
I have no doubt you're going to be very successful there. Congrats on everything you've accomplished here at Jefferson. Really proud of you. Thank you again for being on Blitz.
Thank you.